The learnings of Nishmas Etta Ahuva Basaka Masach Nedarim Periches Mishna Zayin. In this Mishnah, there is going to be a bunch of cases where a person makes a neder, and we're going to go into the das of the one making the neder and see what his intention was, and therefore, even if it doesn't get completely fulfilled, if the intention is fulfilled, that would allow him to have hana. Like we'll explain, all the cases are very similar. If someone makes a neder that I'm not going to have hana from you, if you don't allow me to give to you on behalf of your son a core of wheat or 2 barrels of wine, he doesn't even have to go al pi chacham. Even though he doesn't take the wine, you're allowed to have hana. Because the whole purpose, the whole intention behind this neder was that he should have honor. He wanted to honor the Mekabel Matana. And the Mekabel Matana is saying that I'm getting the honor by not taking it. I have more covered in the fact that I could support my son without your presence. The second case, so here the Mekabel Matana is the one initiating and say, if you do not give to me this present, then I'm not going to have any hana. So over here, Rameir over here says that it's aser. But the Chachamim, they say similar to what we said in the Reisha. The whole point of the neder was that you should give me a matana. So I could say it's as if I got it. Rameir, who argues, the Zamachlekes Rishonim, the Tais Yanta brings it down over here. The Tais says that in the Reisha he's going to be Maida, because it's only over here where it's not the derech that a person says on a matana that hiskabalti, it's as if I'm miskabel. But in the Reisha, it is the derech for a person to say, don't give me a matana. The Ran brings from the Yerushalmi that Rameir, who argued in the second case, would argue in the first case as well. Just Benegei Purim, the svara of the Chachamim that a person could say ki'ilu eskabalti is brought down in the Carbon Sandal in the first parak of Megillah, and brought down in La Halacha and the Mishnah Berurah also, whether you say this by Mishloach Manas as well. Do you actually have to give the matana, or a person could say ki'ilu eskabalti? The last two cases of the Mishnah is Hayu Misavrin Boy Losei says they were trying to get him to marry his niece. And he says, I'm not marrying her, she can't have any hana from me forever. Or a person divorcing his wife, I don't want my wife to have any hana from me. Over here we go, Basar his attention. What was his intention? He wasn't saying that they can't have any hana, he only meant hana negeya marital activities. He was trying to get his friend to eat by him. I'm not going into your house. I'm not giving you a drop of cold water. The kavanah of his nether was only for a lot of eating and drinking. But going into his house or tipa seinin, that wasn't his intention, and therefore it's mutter. Perek Tes Mishnah Aleph, Rabbi Eliezer Omer Poiskin LaAdam B'chvoid Ave V'imay. A person could, when you're mater neder and you're trying to find a pesach to say that if I would have known ABC, I wouldn't have made the neder. So then a good pesach would be to say, if I didn't know that my parents would be embarrassed by the fact I made nedarim, because it's you're not supposed to make nedarim, so they're going to say, oh, this is the father of the person that makes nedarim, or they're going to say that the Ran says a different shot, that they're going to say that this kid learned from his parents to make nedarim. So that is a good pesach. The Chachamim say, no, if a person says, if I would have known my parents would be embarrassed, so then that doesn't help. That's not a good pesach. Amar Reb Tzadik, ad shepoischen loy b'chvoid ave v'ima yiftach loy b'chvoid hamakim. If you hold, they're asking Rabbi Eliezer, if you hold that a Pesach for Kvod Ave V'ima is a good Pesach, so then a person should be able to say, if I would have known that the Eibusha would be upset at me, I wouldn't have made this neder. So the Gemara says, Imkein ein nedarim. So in the Gemara, there's Machlekes, Abaye and Rava, what it means to say Imkein ein nedarim. Abaye says that a person wouldn't be meiz to say in front of a Chacham that if I would have known that Hashem didn't want to make the Nedarim, I wouldn't have made the Nedarim. Therefore, we're chayshish that he's going to lie, and therefore, when it comes to Kvoid Hamakam, it's not a good Pesach, but when it comes to Kvoid Aviv Imay, it will be a good Pesach. And Rava says if a person could be Pesach b'Kvoid Hamakam, then he's not going to go to a Chacham anymore to be Shel Nedarim. He's going to know that himself. He could say, if I would have known Hashem would not have wanted this neder, I wouldn't have made this neder, and therefore it's not chal. Why won't a person say that by every neder, that if I would have known my father and mother would have been a mezal, so I wouldn't have made the neder? Because a lot of nedarim are kal, and it's not taka such a zilzal in the parents that he made these nedarim. Mishnah ends off, u'moidem chachamim Eliezer b'davar shebeino levein ava v'imay. If it's something that relates to the parents, the hainu that he made a neder, let's say, on his parents himself, that they can't have enough from his property. So then, then he could say, if I would have known that it would have been a zilzal to my parents, I would have made this neder, and that is considered a good Pesach. Very interesting Teisus Yantav over here that I noticed. The Rav brings down the reason of Abaye earlier in the Machlekes Abaye v'Rava that we're chayshish that he's meshaker, and therefore that's why Kvoid Hamakim is not considered a good Pesach. And the Teiziantav asks, what do you mean? Abaye v'Rava halacha k'Rava. So he says that's dafka bedinim, the klal of Abaye v'Rava halacha k'Rava. When it comes to svaras, to taimim, if svara of Abaye is a better svara, then you could go basa that.